Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of the Aftershow, already more popular than last season's reunion. This episode was very impactful. A lot of stuff happened, and I'm pretty sure everyone can say they were shocked by the outcome of this episode.
Some would definitely say that, but, we're back, episode 2. We're #ready, and we're ready to introduce our second guest. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Complex.
No. Complex. Can I just say, watching this season, seeing episode 1, episode 2, I was rooting for you so much. I liked what you were bringing. You were bringing chaos to this season. I was fully emphasized. I was like, yes, this is what I love to see. Seeing you go home this early, I am devastated.
I was definitely there. That's for sure. I mean, Segabit is not the best, but it was an experience, that's for sure.
Listen, I'm second boot too. We can bond over that.
Yeah. You're the GOAT. I don't know you, but you're the GOAT.
You too.
But yeah, I am definitely the best player there for sure. Everybody just wanted to get rid of me early because, that's how it goes. They always kind of get the best player out, and all that. So, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Actually, talking about that, from the first 2 challenges and even on the Canton with the PvP, you looked like the strongest player on your tribe competition-wise. Did you believe that you were?
I think in the moment I thought Jeffels was better. I don't actually know. I don't know if Jeffels is better than me, but but I mean, I'm not even that good at Minecraft. I'm pretty mid, but I can do stuff sometimes.
Complex, this was your first ever game show, correct?
Yeah.
So coming into this, did you know what Survivor was before this? I'd assume so.
The way I found this community in general was through just YouTube recommendations. I was just scrolling on YouTube and I saw a video. It was Minecraft Survivor. I still forget it. It was season. I think it was Oxy Survivor. It was season 10, episode 6, I think. And I was I clicked on it. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is interesting. And I was like, oh wait, you can actually play in these and just went down a rabbit hole, found all it, and then kind of just ended up there.
It's an awesome story. But when you got the invite from soccer, what was the reaction? Were you excited or were you locked in and ready to go?
I got the message from soccer and I was like, oh, cool. It's another opportunity to play, and I was really excited for sure. But I wouldn't say I was locked in. I was more so there to socialize rather than be strategic and really win the game. I to be honest, I wasn't trying to win the game. My main goal was just to make friends with other people. That's basically what my goal was.
This is why you're a saint, Mr. Complex, a heart of gold.
All right, so let's talk more about after the challenge. You guys lost 3-0. It was a pretty big blow. There was no really to call out. So immediately we see Fuck go into the call with 3 other people and instantly lie, say it was your idea to tell anything, and basically put all the blame onto you. Seeing that happen, seeing all those events, what do you want to say?
I mean, screw that guy. That guy actually sucks, bro. Oh my god, I hate that guy.
But no, actually, Fo is really chill. We talked after the season and we had a really, really cool conversation, and but it really all stemmed from a misunderstanding in the beginning of we just didn't communicate. I know in the episode he's talking about me telling him that we shouldn't tell anybody, but I vividly remember just when we were talking in DMs, it was literally last minute. He was should we not tell them? I was sure, I guess. It was not a concrete thing. And
all right, and I'm really glad you cleared a lot of stuff up, because that was a big plot of the Saints tribe, honestly. That was probably the biggest plot the whole season so far. It was what's going to happen with you this episode from that happening, and we saw everything unfold. So thank you for that.
Complex. When you got back from the challenge in the circle, Thermal said that Thermal basically threw out Madison's name for sitting out of the challenge. What was the reaction to that? Why didn't you push that around?
I think I was just that's kind of a cringe way to think of it. You shouldn't just, they wanted to, they sat out the challenge because nobody else would. So it's not their fault that that they sat out of the challenge, she was just, she was the only one that would be willing to, and just worked out of the way. So I was like, it's not really a good reason to throw out a name. And I mean, Madison didn't believe me.
Why do you think Thermal got like no blowback for that? Because he was the one that did it, but you were the one that got like all the punishment for it. So why do you think that happened? Do you think he was just like better connected, or people just, again, as JJ was saying, playing scared and just followed your name?
Yeah, I think it's it's basically the second one. Like, my name was out there, so if someone says that I did something shady, then I probably did something shady,
Okay, so after like seeing the vote 7-1 and like seeing how everything's like unfolded so far, and seeing the way they're playing, do you think anyone on your on your tribe has a legitimate chance to win this game?
I think in general it's pretty up in the air. Like, I feel like it's too early to say a lot of things.
So in the episode, I feel like there was a lot of disrespect towards your name from like Madison. Jules said something about you, Kyle was talking about you, and Falk was talking about you. So how do you just want to respond to that a little bit? Like, do you think that was warranted, or do you think they
yeah, screw you guys. I don't know. I'm really bad at saying mean things. You guys suck so bad.
So now, thank you, Compass, for all those. But now, we promised we were going to deliver. We're bringing in a special guest here, and to me, there's someone very special to my heart. Last season, you may have seen our rivalry be kind of the entire episode 1 and episode 2. He got the best of me. I tried to get him out. It did not work. All love though. So come out, Banjo.
I'm gonna have a fucking stroke. All right, what's happening, guys? Woo, yeah.
Welcome, Mr.
Hello.
Yeah.
So Banjo, how have you been since season 1?
Since season 1, I've been, reflecting on a few things. Kind of realized that I am a dumbass, but I mean, things happen. It's a game. We live and learn. And I don't think I've actually played a Survivor since. I've been focused on, my life.
I feel like I can reciprocate those feelings about feeling like a dumbass from the way I played season 1 as well. So that feeling is mutual.
We have our own types of dumbassery.
Exactly.
Alright, so Complex. Now, listen, I can't say I don't share your pain of getting out early. I've gotten third boot in 2 straight recordeds back when I was playing them.
Damn, that's
so I get it entirely how you must have felt at the time. But just kind of talk about, the emotions of like, once you, disconnect from the call, you kind of take the headset off. What do you kind of like feel? Do you feel anything when you get out of these, or?
I feel like the first time was the only time I actually ever like felt anything. It was like, I remember, so after I got voted out, my internet went out, obviously. So like, I didn't really disconnect from the call. It was more like I got disconnected from the call. But I think that I had a really fun time.
Well, it's always important to have a good time on the first one, because then if you're having no fun, you're wanting to just get the rope out already and just tie it to the fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that feeling. Those kinds of things happen. But the first time is the most important time. With a lot of things in life. Anyway, your gameplay. How would you give me one word real quick?
Okay, well, for my game, oh man, this is hard. I would say, well, from this experience, it was basically a chatterbox, I'd say. Like, I talked way too much. It was out of control.
If you were ever given a second chance to play this game, would you change anything? And well, first off, would you accept it, and how would you change your gameplay, and how do you think you do?
I definitely change my gameplay. I want to be way. I would be way more chaotic. I'd throw out names left and right. I try to just be the guy like that, like just playing a very loyal game, but at the same time, not caring about anybody else and just keeping the people that are close to me, and everybody else is just like, yeah, screw you.
Well, as someone who did play a chaotic game in season 1, it can also lead you to second boot. So there's good and bad.
Hey, a fun second boot is better than a boring one.
That's true.
Factual.
We'll leave it up with the last question here. We'll give you the full floor. Is there anything you want to say to anyone on this season, or the viewers, or both? Feel free.
This season was a really fun experience for me, considering it was my first time playing, and I had no expectations going in. People playing, you guys are all great. I enjoyed your guys' company. For the most part, some of you guys sucked. No, I'm kidding. The people watching this that are not the people that played. You guys, if your name is Easton, get better at Minecraft. You're pretty bad, so you should get better at it. Thanks, soccer, wherever you are, for hosting this, and thanks for watching, I guess.
All right, thank you so much, Complex.
Thank you for coming out, Complex.
All right, so Banjo, seeing this episode, like compared to our episode 2, like, are you like disappointed? Would you say, like, with the gameplay? Because like we ended off in like.
Oh, very much so. I'm so disappointed with what that is. I mean, I'm not one to turn down a little bit of early chaos like we had in our season, but fuck, there was like nothing. Like that episode was like, oh, look at that, they went to the purgatory, and then there was just yapping, and then the Saints lost the challenge, and then instead of it being mildly interesting, because Kyle even said, hey, I could have spiced things up a lot, and told Complex about it, he didn't, because he's bitch made. Everyone wants to bite their tongue so early on in the season and play a smart game. All right, go ahead. JJ, unfortunately, you learned this the hard way. What happens when, shit gets a little rowdy. But then again, so did Teddy. And he was involved in all that too.
Yeah, it can either make you thrive or it can make you die in this game. So people are choosing their choice with this. It doesn't come off as interesting gameplay, honestly, but it is the smarter move going forward. Now, really for you, I'm going to have 2 questions here. For one, who do you want to win? And who do you think will win?
Who do I want and who do I think? Well, in terms of who I want, I wouldn't mind seeing a Neptune win personally. Neptune, he's been in this community for a large amount of time compared to myself.
Yes!
And I think that would just be, one for the OGs. I'm not an OG, but I mean one for the OGs, and I think that'd be cool. If I had to pick, let's say I want like one from each, and I'll pick one from each, I think. If I wanted someone from the Sinners to win, I would probably pick Oxy, just because I think that'd be funny as fuck, him winning a season. Like, I want him to win because it'd be funny. That's why I'm not picking him for who I think will win, because I don't think that shit's about to happen. For who I think will win, I'll go back to the Sinners, and I'll actually pick Boston as my winner pick from the Sinners. I feel like Boston, I got his personality a lot out of the first episode mainly, but he kind of had that really bubbly, kind of fun personality, especially for a Sinner, and that is like absolutely dangerous in this kind of game. So I'm scared to see what he'll do with it going forward, but I think he's a lock to make the merge. And I think regardless, he'll do super, super well. The Saints is actually a bit more complicated because their personalities are a lot more kind of dialed down. But based on how kind of this edit is going, I would say either Jules or Madison. If I had to pick one of them, I'd probably lean a bit more towards Jules. But it really just depends on, these upcoming couple episodes mainly.
Banjo, if you were on the season, do you think you would be considered a saint or a sinner?
Oh fuck! I mean, I don't even know. I'll be real, because I have the fun ability to kind of flip my personality depending on what I need. In terms of just going through like the interview and application stage again, even though I didn't actually do that, Soccer just kind of sent me a DM. I think if he were to invite me on season 2. I probably would have been for Sinner, and it wouldn't be for any other reason other than I'm loud and I scream a lot in other shows.
And that I was the hero of season 1.
And yes, of course, you were the hero of season 1. But no, ignoring season 1 like in its entirety, I think if you just looked at me from everything else, you would have seen the screamy, loud child who was doing shit and was pissing people off. So they probably would have just put me on Sinner regardless of how I am now.
All right, I got 2 more questions. So first, if you were on this cast, do you think you wiped the floor with them? Or like, how do you think you do if you
do
were
I
on
think
this
I wiped
season?
the floor? Fuck no. I think this cast is honestly a lot more difficult to go through than season 1 cast. The big difference here is the challenge ability is so stacked on this season compared to the last. Like, I won 2 immunities, okay? That's how bad it was. Up at, like, at that certain point, right? And this season, you have Kimmy, you have Hannah, you have Red, and those 3 are all on the same team, essentially. And then on the other side, you have people like Jeffels, you had Complex. Kyle's pretty good too at most things. I think Folk is okay. I don't really remember. But again, it's just the ability of challenges is just so stacked compared to season 1. Like, probably the best person on season 1, I don't even know. It would have had to have been Super because he won like the 4 straight at the beginning, right? And there was really nobody else that followed that because nobody else was able to get to that level.
And I guess my final question, and JJ, you can jump in here too. Do you think season 2 will clear season 1, or do you think season 1 will be the superior season?
Hey, season 1, while it may have a gold place in my heart, it's only episode 2. So far, season 1 clears season 2 by a mile. It's not even a competition. But I think their merge may be a lot more interesting than ours. It got boring after Final 8. But I think that this season's endgame has the potential to, as it says, to either be a saint or a sinner, and I feel like it'll be a combination of both going into that stage.
I can agree with that because honestly, a lot of the game was played very early on, and it left not a lot of room. There was one side left. There wasn't really much scrambling any gameplay after the Final 8 because all of it got done in the beginning. With a cast this good you have in a season, and people still saving up the gameplay for later on, you can expect there to, when the big move finally happens, it's only going to be chaos from there.
Exactly.
All right. Well, JJ, you got anything else?
No, just really thank you for joining us, Banjo. No one I would think me and you would be on the stage together after our escapade. But I'm really glad we got this to happen.
Oh, of course, man. No, this has been great. I haven't really been around for the last 4 months or so. It's been nice to come back, see the state everything's in, and then maybe get an invite from soccer to a future season. You never know.
I guess one final thing. If you had to say any final words before you depart, call out anyone from season 1 or just anyone in the community in general, who would it be?
I don't have anyone to call out. I have not been around for a while. If anything, I'm gonna call out myself for being a dumbass in season 1. That season was mine. It was on lock, and I fumbled every single bag that I had thrown at me. I am not going to the big leagues. I don't deserve to go to the big leagues after that shit. But it's okay. That's why we're taking these breaks, so we could recuperate, come back stronger.
All right. Well, that's all for me. Thank you for coming out. You were a joy to have.
All right, and there we have it. Another episode, another banger. This season is going in the right direction right now. It might be slow, but I expect these to be ramping up quickly. A lot of strong players are left, and we are going to be seeing some beasts playing this game. So expect to see some big players, some big plays coming, and we are going to have it all on the after show. See you next episode.